28 years later's new cast members are breaking an important rule from the first two movies. The upcoming 28 Years Later has generated both excitement and controversy, not just because of its long-awaited return to Danny Boyle's rage-infected world, but also because of a bold decision that may break one of the most important cinematic rules the first two films established. While the casting of industry heavyweights like Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Ralph Fiennes has certainly raised the sequel's profile, it may also threaten the gritty realism that defined the franchise's haunting atmosphere. In doing so, 28 Years Later risks losing what made 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later so effectively terrifying, an eerie sense of grounded chaos told through the eyes of relatively unknown characters. The original films thrived on realism. When Danny Boyle unleashed 28 Days Later in 2002, he delivered a raw, grainy, and intimately human story of survival. The film, shot mostly on digital video with handheld cameras, felt less like a blockbuster and more like a documentary of the apocalypse. Part of that realism came from the cast. Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris, and Megan Burns were either unknown or only modestly recognized when they starred in the film, making it easier for viewers to immerse themselves in the fictional devastation. The sequel, 28 Weeks Later 2007, directed by Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, followed a similar formula. While Robert Carlyle and Idris Elba had recognizable names, the focus remained on characters played by relatively fresh faces like Imogen Poots and Macintosh Muggleton. These casting choices maintained a sense of anonymity, allowing the audience to experience the story not through celebrities, but through relatable people caught in unspeakable circumstances. This approach helped keep the 28 franchise feeling immediate, intimate, and believable. There was no Hollywood sheen, just raw emotion, desperate choices, and nerve-wracking tension. Star power versus authentic fear. Now, 28 Years Later appears to be discarding that quiet tradition. With Jodie Comer, an Emmy winner and breakout star from Killing Eve, Ralph Fiennes, an icon of prestige cinema, and Aaron Taylor-Johnson, a Marvel alum and rumored next James Bond leading the cast, the third installment is going all in on recognizable talent. There's no denying these actors are talented. Comer has an uncanny ability to balance fragility and violence. Fiennes can radiate calm menace or poetic despair at will. Taylor-Johnson has shown surprising emotional range in films like Nocturnal Animals and Bullet Train. But their fame changes the atmosphere before a single frame hits the screen. Instead of an immersive apocalypse where the characters feel like everyday survivors, we now anticipate the next scene with a famous actor. This shifts the viewer's emotional focus. It's no longer, who are these people and will they survive, but rather how will this actor deliver their performance? Or this character won't die yet, they're too famous. The casting turns the apocalyptic into the theatrical, and in a franchise defined by its realism, that's a significant tonal pivot. A world built on the ordinary. The appeal of 28 Days Later and its sequel wasn't just the infection itself, it was the crumbling of society seen through everyday people. When Jim Murphy wandered through a desolate London, we didn't know him. His fear was our fear. It wasn't stylized. It wasn't glossy. It felt like it could happen to anyone. Compare this to what might happen with 28 Years Later. Imagine Ralph Fiennes in a post-apocalyptic bunker giving a monologue about mankind's hubris, or Jodie Comer being given a tragic backstory that demands awards consideration. It may be compelling, but it's not what the franchise was originally about. This tonal shift isn't just a stylistic concern, it's a thematic one. The horror of the 28 universe is rooted in the collapse of systems and the desperation of those left behind. It's about ordinary people doing unthinkable things to survive. Introducing familiar Hollywood faces risks adding a